Welcome back to Delta Waterfowl's The Voice of the Duck Hunter podcast. I'm your host, Joel Brice, with another great episode recorded in front of a live audience at Delta's Duck Hunters Expo. In this exciting episode, I was joined by Wade Shoemaker, a Louisiana duck hunter, photographer, content creator, and the force behind the huge success of Migra Ammunition's boat ramp tour. Wade has a gift for connecting with duck hunters, not just online, but at boat ramps across the country. And in doing so, he's helping brands build trust the old-fashioned way, through real conversations. We'll talk about his journey from ministry to marketing, his thoughts on duck hunting culture, and how he balances life on the road with raising two young boys. This one's about people, purpose, and passion. You won't want to miss it. Wade Shoemaker, welcome to the Delta Waterfowl podcast.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. This is a cool thing.
It is a cool thing. You know what? I've recorded podcasts at the last several expos. I couldn't hide they were at the expo, right?
Right.
You can probably pick up the chatter. You can pick up the different duck calls. I think it's pretty awesome.
No, it's dope. I love it, man. A lot of folks running around. A lot of feet on the ground today. Like, a lot of feet on the ground today.
Yeah. I tell you what, where are you from?
Quitman, Louisiana.
Okay.
North Central, if nobody knows it. But West Monroe is here. Shreveport's here. Quitman's pretty much dead center south of the interstate.
Okay.
An hour south of Arkansas.
Perfect.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Back in North Dakota, I think I was checking in with my family. 70s?
Ooh, that's nice.
It's very nice.
105 real feel when I left my house.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, I've got an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. And my 8-year-old, he's built like a runner, like he's an athlete, like way better shape than I am kind of thing. And, I go to the gym, and I'm like, dude, I warm up at the gym. Why don't I just warm up at my house? I live 7 minutes from the gym. So I can run one lap around my yard. It's a half mile. And then I asked him if he wanted to run. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Well, terrible idea, because I got about halfway in, sweating, tired, because I'm not used to it, and realized real quick what 105 real feel felt like a half mile in. And it's not a good thing. It sucks bad.
No, I think you're actually in that kind of temperature. You probably run half the distance.
Yes.
You accomplish the same amount of work.
I'm just trying to sweat, dude. I don't. The rest I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's rough. I accomplished the sweat part.
Check that box.
Yeah.
Well, Wade, man, this is our first time meeting. So this is literally, we're going to unbox you. We're going to unbox, you have, I'm just going to start here, man. You have Benelli Pro Staff, Migra Ammunitions, Community Development and Relationship Manager, Brand Consultant, Photographer, Creative Content Producer, Influencer.
That's kind of a weird word, but we'll just say I know some people.
What the? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's put it in your words. You're right here. Why don't you give us a quick version about you, and how did you end up so smack dab in the middle of the waterfowl industry?
So there's not a real. I don't think there's a real answer for that, right? Like I think it's just. And I think I'm in a good place I can say that. I think it's a thing where God opens doors and you just walk through them, right? And that's what I've done for pretty much everything. And, man, it started out, I was just actually talking to Dustin Jones of 737 Calls. Yeah, I saw him. I hadn't seen him in probably almost a decade. It's been a long time. And, anyway, saw him. We were talking about last time he and I talked to each other, and I won a photo contest in 15 or 16, I think it was. And Sitka puts on one called Diverge.
Yeah.
And I won Diverge 5, the waterfowl category. And I already had a lot of pals, and I was hunting and having a good time. And then I won that contest. They pushed me up to Bozeman for a few days for an event they had. And I had a meeting. I worked at the railroad full-time then. And we had a meeting. They were trying to get me on one, and I just kept on trying to put it off. But I had to get on the meeting, and I took off work for that. So that's not how things are supposed to work. Well, anyway, short of the long, got mad about it. And I told my buddy when I hung up the phone, I said, I'm quitting when I get back. And he was like, what? I was like, I'm not dealing with this, dude. Like, he said, what are you going to do? I was like, don't know. I got a camera, and I have a lot of friends, and it's now or never. And my wife, she was like, if you think so, let's do it, So we did it, and that was 8 years ago, I think, when I quit. It was something like that. So I've been 6 or 7 years. I was full-time photo video, freelance.
Okay.
And first job out of that was filming for Higdon. on Higdon Outdoors Television. First ever freelance job was filming for a national TV show, you know. But that's because of friends, right? Like and I can hold a camera, run one, but you got to know the right people to get you to hold the right camera, right? So I did that, and it just escalated. And man, I'm full time at Migra now. I do the ambassadorship for Benelli as well, and then, man, I don't know, made a lot of friends, try to make new ones, and just connect people everywhere I go, and wherever that goes, let it go.
That's incredible. I don't know if people know this about you, but part of your journey, you touched on the railroad manager here,
Yeah.
but youth pastor?
I did before that. So it's a weird thing. I worked at the railroad before I got married. I got the job. Was there for 7 months, and like after we got married, the pastor was like, "Hey, you want to work with our kids?" You know, because we were already helping. Love the youth, and stuff. I mean, that's, if you don't have them, you don't have anything after, right? So I said, "Yeah, man, absolutely, let's do it." So for 3 years full time, I did that, and then the funny thing about it is, when I resigned from the church, I went back to the same railroad, but instead of a labor, like just transload guy, which is whatever, I managed the transload department. So I went from a laborer to a youth pastor to a manager, and then I was 3 years in on that, and then I resigned from there because we had 4 GMs in 3 years, and the camera's a lot easier to hold than a lead pipe opening the belly of a rail car, you know?
It does sound like that.
It is,
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. Hey, tell us about Recycled Rhetoric.
So Recycled Rhetoric is the thing I started. It's honestly been on the back burner for a minute, but that was the first official, a sole proprietorship. I didn't do LLC with it, but I did a sole proprietorship with it. And Recycled Rhetoric was the idea of, I want to come in and help a brand or help people, whatever they have. I don't want to change them. I don't want to change what they do, or I don't want to change who they are at their core, but I want to take what they have and recycle it and throw some rhetoric out there they can use from that recycling process, and just rhetoric is a persuasive speech, right, at its core. So if I can take what they got, move it around a little bit, throw it out there to be a persuasive speech, I'm not changing who they are. I'm just helping them put it in a way that maybe communicates better, right? And that's really what it is, and that's a high level, but that's what I started my photography business off of. Ran some socials through it. I've talked to some other guys that have had businesses throughout the years, and it's been an interesting thing. I didn't go to school for it. You know, I wanted to be a personal trainer. I did kinesiology, and that's what I wanted to do. And then I realized I live in a small town. I don't like waking up at 4 a.m. unless I have to. And you got to wake up early to be a personal trainer, because you got to train people at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. And I live in a town. I graduated 32 people in my high school class. There ain't but about 7 people that's going to pay for a trainer, and we know where I live, and you can't make a living off of that.
No, you can't. So I get the impression.
Uh-oh.
I'm not. I'm a sharp study sometimes here, but I get the impression that a camera is a real central item in your life.
Man, I think that is. I don't know what word I want to use, but I think that's been. I don't want to call it a crutch, but I think that's been my platform. I think that's been what got me. Realized, hey, Wade, I liked it, and I didn't suck at it, you know. I think it's accurate. There's no reason to expound any more on it. That's
your
pretty
paintbrush.
Yeah, my what?
That's your paintbrush.
Yes. That's a good way.
The world is your canvas.
Yeah. I
Maybe?
think so.
I don't know. I'm just making this up.
No, it is.
Making it up on the fly.
That's good.
Hey, so I've seen you quoted as saying, "I take pictures of people doing what they love."
Yep.
To you, what makes a powerful hunting photo?
Emotion. Video does really well at capturing that in motion, right? And I think it's harder for a photographer to get a still and show that. But if you can capture something like this guy right here on the TV beside us, he's just smiling, laughing, pointing, banded bird, high-fiving. If you can catch that in motion, you've got something. The thing that I've realized over the years is, and this is something I've actually gotten to we'll call it an aggressive conversation with some people about authenticity. And it's like, man, you've got to go set things up as a photographer for brands and stuff like that, right? But there's not a single person, a single brand, a single photographer that will argue with you and tell you that you can replicate real emotion, raw emotion. And when you got people crying on camera because they killed something or found something or had a great time, like you can't do that again, not in a real way. Like you don't get the big movements, you don't get the real tears, you don't get any most of the time. If you get tears on the second try on purpose, you probably should figure out who you're hanging out with, because they can do like that, a drop of a dime. There's some things going on. But no, man, it is that. I think emotion. If you can capture that, that's the move.
You know, I have a ton of respect for
artist in general. I don't have. You could fit all of my artistic talent and maybe the tip of my little finger.
I don't know, man. You knew that paintbrush and world your canvas thing.
I have that kind of stuff.
You got it.
But it's kind of the shell. I don't have anything inside when it comes to the artistic creativity.
No, it's there.
But I look at that and I say, and that's the part that I think, and I'm glad you said that. I guess I didn't really know that about you, but the emotion in an image, because I can see. Actually, you see something. Go, wow, that is so beautiful. Take a picture, look at it. It is nothing like what I'm seeing with my eyes. No. But a true talented photographer finds a way to bring that out.
No, and I'll tell you, I can back up a little bit that I didn't bring out because I wasn't thinking. But I didn't hold a camera until I don't know, probably when I was at the railroad. I bought my first one from a buddy of mine. I was at the railroad, and before that, I didn't consider myself creative at all. I could have a couple witty captions every now and then that rhymed, and I thought, I was like, oh, I could write rap lyrics and suck at it, but I didn't. And then when I was youth pastor for 3 years, I had to learn how to be creative with no money.
Yeah.
Because like everything else, there's no budget for that, right? So I figured out how to be creative with that, and it kind of, not to be weird, but it unlocked something, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, there's something there I didn't know existed, right? And yeah, so that just kind of escalated that whole situation, and I guess that's where I figured out I should be doing something other than just typing on a keyboard or holding a lead pipe.
There you go. Well, it sounds like you're doing something right. It seems like a silly question. Duck hunting, it's not a question, I'll make a statement. Duck hunting is a huge part of your life.
Yeah, dude.
You showed me your wedding ring. For the listener, just describe what you've got on your hand.
So when I got married, I told my wife that I would tell her no at the altar if she couldn't get me a wedding band with a duck band stuff on it. Big lie. Definitely would have not. I would have said yes still. Yeah. But anyway, we didn't know how to do that, didn't know where. There wasn't a lot of people with one that I'd ever seen. And she went on Etsy, of all places, and found this. I think it's stainless steel. I could be wrong. It may be sterling silver. Don't know. But it says Wade and Brandy banded together, top and bottom. And then it says 03-04-11, which is March 4th, 2011. I've been married for 14 years now.
Nice.
So I would say so. And it's gotten a lot more serious since 2011, the marriage and the hunting, right? But, yeah, I would say it's almost embarrassing how deep off I am into the waterfowl,
Really?
thing. Yeah, dude.
Has it been that way? Did you grow up in a duck hunting family?
Didn't. I didn't start truly duck hunting until I was 19. Yeah.
Sweet.
My grandparents had some acreage, 40 acres behind their house, and we would go hunt, shoot wood ducks off a creek. They called it roosting them, but we did it at 9 a.m. All it was is jumping them off the creek and shooting. We're jump shooting them.
Yeah.
And I shot several of those, and then when I was 8 or 9. My grandpa, he didn't know how to duck hunt. He didn't know how to blow a duck call. His buddies duck hunted in northeast Louisiana, and he made good money, right? And he's like, I'll just go lease this blind, $2,000 or whatever. Back then was pretty good money.
Yeah.
And he leased it, and I remember we bought a 1999 Honda Rancher because it was 1999. And it was so cold. I remember it was the first time I'd ever ridden and remembered letting off the gas and thinking there was a heater. I didn't know that was a thing. And we went out there, dude, thinking back, looking at the decoy spread, the vague little bit that I can remember, it was terrible. The spread was probably a dozen or 2 dozen decoys in this rice field, nothing. None of us about a duck call. I think we killed maybe 3 ducks that whole year. And I remember that forever, but that's all I did. That's the only kind of duck hunting I had done until I was 19. And I had a buddy, they invited me one night, you want to go duck hunting? I was like, yeah, well, what do I need? I got a shotgun. I got some warm clothes. He's like, well, we'll bring some waders. We'll do all that. Okay, cool. Terrible waders. They were like paper stocking foot, and I put some boots on that were too small, curled my toes up, made it work. They leaked profusely.
Yeah.
And we shot one green wing teal. It come in. It's I'll never forget it. It come in from the right, went to the left. We were hunting on the wrong side of the pond because we hunted a lot after that, and I realized how to do it. We hunted the wrong side, and because the water was too high, and it come in. We were in some button willows or buckbrush, whatever you want to call it, and shot, and it died. It was the only duck that died that day. And they was like, "Oh yeah, you got it," And I'm like, "No, I don't think so, but cool, it's mine,"
Yeah.
And I remember a green wing teal. I remember looking down at it, and I'm like, "Man, this is the greatest thing in the world.
It's over.
I mean, it was just like I've never experienced anything like that. Even like, this is going to sound terrible, and I'm sorry if y'all get offended by this. Even the birth of my child was not that impactful, dude. Now, as he got older,
Yeah.
different story, right? And I realized that I thought I was a terrible dad. Honestly, I was like, damn, I'm not. I can't. You're supposed to like change immediately when your kids are born, and I didn't. You know, and I was like, oh no, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But it's grown then, right? Like it's a thing that happens over time. But that one duck, dude, it changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, I'm real curious. So, you know, as eaten up as you are by duck hunting, but yet you make at least a portion of your livelihood using a camera.
Yep.
Not the shotgun.
Did, yeah.
How do you balance going out for yourself and using the camera?
Understanding that I'm doing something that that I love and that a lot of other people would love to be doing. I've got to tell myself that a lot of days when I'm out there with a camera in my hand. I have bad circulation in my fingers, and I didn't realize that until I was a little older, and mainly because I didn't hold a camera until I was older. You know,
Yeah.
And you're holding a metal frame, and I've got some cages around some of my cameras for monitors and stuff like that. So it's cold metal; it's not even rubber coated, and they'll turn white, and you can't even like you push it down, your blood's gone, right? So. I've got to remind myself of that when I don't even know where my finger's at on my camera trying to push the shutter. Like, this sucks, you know? I'm like, but, dude, look what I'm doing. You know, I'm being paid to do this right now.
Yeah.
Now, I may need to go pay a doctor to get my fingers back right, but I'm getting paid to do this.
Right on.
And I do it with the people that you want to do it with. Like, I work with people that I want to work with. And, dude, that's the biggest thing. If you can't be with the people you want to be with, then it's not worth it anyway.
Right.
Like, it's not. I value my time over my money, and that's a blessing and a curse a lot of times. But I'm way more in love with time than I am money, and I think that's probably a big piece of why I'm able to do what I do and be okay with not hunting every day. Right.
Right.
Because I know, I mean, you got to make money to live.
So you still get out there on your own? And go
Yes.
duck hunting?
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, I don't hold the cameras much anymore.
Oh, really?
So when I went full time with Migra,
Okay.
my responsibility, I still hold the camera. I bring it. I carried 2 in a backpack here today to take some photos. But my responsibilities shifted, right? So now it's more people. It's brand. It's people. It's that's it.
Well, let's shift to that. So, Benelli Pro staff, promotional staff,
Yeah.
and then you just described that full-time position with Migra. Can you box that a little bit?
Yeah.
And I guess maybe just how do those relationships come about?
Man, so Drew, the founder of Migra, I was actually working at an outfitter in Texas called Dry Creek Outfitters in Wichita Falls. I was there for almost 6 years full time, like during duck season, 30 plus days a year photographing every day. And while I was there, Drew called. We ended up connecting, and he founded Migra, and he was like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" You know, we just got to talking, and first time we were ever on the phone was like an hour and a half, and it was just a great call, right? So through that, I ended up doing some videos for Migra, some photos for Migra, and that escalated to down the road. We have a CEO named Mark Rigobuto who I was filming a turkey hunt for him and his son while we were testing out the turkey loads, Migra's turkey loads, if I remember that right. But anyway, met him there, and I didn't know he wasn't even our CEO at that point. That he and Drew were talking, hanging out, trying to figure out, hey, is this going to work? Well, it worked. And shortly after, I got brought on as a contract guy to manage social media. That lasted for a little bit. They said, hey, we need you to do our community. So now I've got one contract, just a bigger one. And it's like, hey, okay, you're a community manager and you're also social media. Okay, cool. Well, time went on. In May of last year, they were like, hey, we need you full time. And now it went full time.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, man.
Yeah, I want to learn more about this boat ramp tour.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know anything about it. I want to.
No, it's cool, man. So a few years ago, I brought the team an idea, and I said, hey, like, this is cool, a cool idea. And I guess I don't know how to really start that conversation, but at the end of the day, like, people here, man, people come here to see people, hang out with people, and dude, if we can connect with the people that we're trying to be talking to being our consumer, we need to do it on their level. We need to do it where they're at. And the reality is, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
If I'm not working, I'm going to be out at the boat ramps hunting public anyway, right? So we come up with this idea, and thankfully we were allowed to do it. But the short of the long is, we take our trucks, our boats, We ride around. We went to 6 different states last year, all public land as much as we can. I think we did 25 different ramps last year, and we're out there at 3 a.m. You know, I mean, we're getting however much sleep we can get. 3 a.m. We turn our switches on, and we're smiling even though we don't want to. You know, and we're happy. We love it, but it's just you're wore down, and we're handing out shotgun shells and just talking to people. Not about hey we're Migra and we're better, but like hey, we're just here hanging out. Do you want some shotgun shells? Also, here's a T-shirt. Also, here's probably a hoodie. Also, here's some Yeti stuff. Here's some Sitka stuff. Oh, wait. We figured out you or somebody, like we like you, or we've had a different conversation, or you've said something that clicked with us. Here's a turtle box. You know, like, oh, you have a Super Black Eagle 1 and 2. You need the Super Black Eagle 3. Here's a Super Black Eagle 3. Because we carry them with us, and we go do FFL transfers after that's over. Man, it's just, honestly, at its broken down, right, it is handing people shotgun shells at the ramp and creating relationships. At the end of the day, it is about creating conversations through public land, being like for us to be a conduit for them, right? Because they can vent to us because they see we're doing the things they're doing. We are them, dude, and that's it. We are them, and they can talk to us the way they would talk to anybody else at the boat ramp. We just work somewhere different, and if we can hear what they're saying, we've got a voice as a brand and as a people that are in this industry to like relay that back to this industry. Because the truth is, as a community manager, I've realized that's your community, and this is the industry, and that's two different things. And I think a lot of people get that clouded, you know, like, oh, they're all community or whatever, and it's not, man. Like, your community is the people out there doing the thing, the people that paid to get in here. And the industry is a different group of people. Yeah.
Well, you've mentioned, you've described this gap between industry and hunters.
Yep.
Can you talk about that a little bit? And then maybe why do you think it's even there in the first place?
Man, I think that's a good question. I don't want to rush into that answer, but like, I think there's a gap because we're this is our world, and I've learned, how do I say this without sounding like a total dirt bag? I'm trying to figure this out. I'll just say it. When I worked at the church, loved everybody.
Yeah.
Different religions, different denominations, right? Different denominations have their own bubble. And it just is what it is, especially certain ones. And they live inside that bubble. And they don't pay attention to what's outside that bubble. And they create their own world where I'm being careful. They create their own world where they think that this is all there is, right?
Yeah.
And I think in the industry sometimes we do that. I think sometimes we're so used to being around all our people, right? All our people that work together. We see each other at shows all the time, and we're like, hey, this is what it is, you know? And
there's a risk of being too siloed.
Yes, I think that's a good way to put it. And, and dude, at the end of the day, like if you stop, and this is what I remind myself everywhere I go, when I walk outside of here, when I go Bricktown and eat dinner, lunch, whatever, nobody knows who I am. Not a single person out there knows who I am. Why would I think that the things that go on in here translate to what happens out there? Right? That's the disconnect, because people out of here, a lot of people in here walk outside these doors and think, well, I work for this company, or I'm this person, and people should know who I am. People know what my name is. There's people that know what Migra is. People don't know what Delta Waterfowl. We had an Uber driver the other day and was like, what's Delta Waterfowl?
Yeah.
I was like, well, you know.
Oh, yeah, we get that.
But you don't expect them to know, you know. But that's the thing. Some people do. Some people expect those people to know. And it's like, man, there's so much more out there, like outside these doors. Mm-hmm. And we miss a lot of it in communicating the gap. We miss a lot of it because we don't think there's any difference. And we need to start understanding there's a huge difference, a huge gap, and it's not the same. And whatever we do in here, if we don't take it with us, I'm getting weird now, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, this works for me, but
I'm sorry.
How do you fill that gap?
I think when you walk out of here, you don't think everybody knows. I think you be a genuine person everywhere you go. And then if it's with a community, you do things like boat ramp tour. You do things, not just that. That's a good example, right? Yeah. But you go out with your people like this, like we're all hanging out talking to people in the crowd, and you just have a conversation with them, man. I mean, like if you can't have a conversation eye to eye with these people, then you're doing the wrong thing. You need a different position. You need to work for a different company. But if you can't have a conversation with anybody in this room, anybody, pick one. If you can't have a conversation with them, you need to be doing something different.
Yeah, you're right. I could see the risk of seeing hunters as walking dollar bills.
That's it.
Right? Instead
That's
of
it.
the person
It's
behind
not
it.
transactional, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry. It just hit. Don't look at it as a transaction. It is a relationship.
It's a relationship.
And if you can form a relationship with these people, guess what? Transactions happen. It's not up to you how those go or what they spend their money on. It's up to you just to have a relationship with them and let them decide.
But that's a real challenge, though. I mean, and I love that boat ramp tour concept. And is it going on this upcoming fall again?
It is. It is. We're going to be in Minnesota, Virginia, Maryland, and Arkansas.
Yeah. We don't have many boat ramps in North Dakota.
No. We've talked about going there, and that's honestly, it's not a boat ramp tour if you're, not at a boat ramp.
But you could be doing. It's not. We could name something else, like a public land tour or a waterfowl production area tour.
There's conversations on how to evolve it, and I think that's the thing, because there's a shelf life on these things, and you've got to evolve them. If you don't, then people get tired of it and get bored with it. So there's some conversations how to evolve that thing, and that's a piece of it.
Yeah. I'm going to get in my own little soapbox here, and I'll be real careful, but I've seen changes in waterfowl hunting. I hunt other types of game, but I'll focus it on waterfowl. I've seen this trend maybe over the last 10 years where the emphasis has been on status. Maybe in the industry, maybe it's a little bit of status. I see a little bit of that, but even more so in just the regular hunter. It's about limits. It's about take. It's about developing a following. And so it's, in short, it's an emphasis on the kill and not as much on the journey.
Yeah.
And I'd like, we're trying to be part of that, kind of reestablishing more of that nostalgic.
Yeah.
We'll call it romance, maybe?
No, romantic is a piece. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Are you seeing any of that in your world?
Yeah,
or are you seeing some of the old spirit returning at all?
I am. And that's the thing that it's weird because I love the progress, right? Like, I love progress. I love what's going on. I love the new crowds. I love the new cultures that are popping up. But I'm in love with the legacy and nostalgia of the sport. And I think that's honestly why I'm so like head over heels about this sport, because I love that. But without progress, that dies. The thing about it with I think it's a cycle. I think it's coming back, and I think people are getting tired of it, but I think what started out as like, hey, look at me, or hey, we shot X amount, right? I think I'm not going to say it's aging out. Yeah. I think people are burning out. What's behind me?
That's Chris.
Dude, thank you so much. Oh, M. I promise. No, they're longer than this, dude. I think people are getting. I think they're getting burned out. It's tiring. It's tiring to act like you do this all the time and you're the best at it, because you're not. You don't, and you're not.
Yeah.
And I think people are getting tired, and honestly, people are just seeing through the bull crap.
Yeah.
Honestly, authenticity is easy until you fake it.
Fake it till you make it. Imposter syndrome. What else can we throw out there? But
you got it.
That is for me, it's a buzzword in all the stuff that I do in my career is authenticity, right? Yeah. And I'm glad to hear you talking about that. Hey, let's switch this to. I bet you this might be your favorite topic. Mm-hmm. Your family, your kids.
Yeah, dude.
You're on the road a ton,
bro. Yeah, I am.
How do you stay grounded and present with your family?
Well, I mean, so this is the first show that I've had. I was in Wisconsin last weekend for a trip with someone, but like, this is the first show I've had in a few months.
Okay. So
I'm home a lot in the summertime, which is interesting because I'm not used to being still. But I'm home. I do that. I work from home. So I'm remote. And truly, dude, the best advice I can give, and I don't remember who I heard this from. It's not my original thought, but it's really just be present. Like, when you're home, be present. The other day, I got home and I knew this was coming up. Like, I won't see them for like 2 weeks because they're going on a little vacation with her family for a few days. They're actually leaving tomorrow, and this is over tomorrow. So I'm like, well, okay. And then I leave again for another thing next weekend, and it's like, well, I'm not going to see them because they're coming back the day after I leave. Yeah. So anyway, it's just it's be present, man. And I was home last week, and I sat down on the couch, and I had calls. I had lunch, and I just put my phone on airplane mode. And I set a 12-minute timer. I mean, like, I know that's crazy, but like, and my wife, she works from home too, and we just sat on the couch for 12 minutes. On airplane mode, no Wi-Fi on my phone, and I just turned my phone over. Even though it couldn't ring, I just turned it over so I wouldn't even be wanting to look at it, because it's such it's like, you know, what's going on? But did that for 12 minutes, and it changed our day, dude. Like, it changed, I don't know, it helped, and you've got to do those things. And we didn't really talk, and we didn't say a whole lot when we were sitting there, and we just kind of sat there, dude. And then the boys, that's when I talked about the boys early on in the podcast.
Yeah.
That was the first day we ran the half mile.
That's
Dude,
for muscles.
thank you so much. It's mini. It stands for mini. It stands for mini. But we ran that half mile. It was the first time we did it. It was Monday. We started doing it Monday. We ran Tuesday, and then I left for here on Wednesday, and we ran Wednesday morning so we could make it. And then I got a video from my wife, and my boys come and picked her, like got her out of the bedroom. She was working. She works the back. We got a recliner in our room, and she works from there sometimes. And they went, "Hey, Mama, we're going to run our half mile today?" You know, like, Dad said we would. Yeah, so she went out there and ran it with them, you know. And anyway, just, I didn't mean to get off on that. But yes, dude, love them. And the only thing I can say advice-wise is be present, because you cannot juggle them in between everything else. You've got to set time aside for them. And
So when you're gone, be gone. But when you're around, be present.
I was with the founders of Turtle Box a while back. It was last summer, and Jonathan McKenzie's one of them. And we were talking, and he said something that stuck with me. He's like, "Dude, it's feast and feast." He didn't say feast or, he said feast and. It's feast and famine. He said, because when I'm home, I'm feasting. Like, I'm eating them up, dude, the whole time. And when I'm gone, it's famine, because I don't have them. And that, dude, that'll never leave me.
Yeah.
Feast and famine, and that's how you have to handle it.
Yeah. Have you had him out hunting yet?
Oh yeah. My oldest, his first hunt, he was 3.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to leave. And the first time he went, that he actually knew, he saw. We've got totes, right? And you've got these loops you put ducks in. I don't know what everybody calls them. I just call them totes with like the holes. Put the head through it.
Yeah.
Well, we shot 12 or 13 that day, and there were 18 loops. And we went to leave. And when we went to leave, he started crying. He's 3. He's bawling his eyes out. And I'm like, buddy, like, inconsolable. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, are you hurt? And he goes, "There's still holes left because we didn't shoot 18. And I said, "Bud, here's the thing. You hunting with the wrong group of people if you worried about filling that thing up every day."
Yeah.
But he's eat up with it, dude. And my 6-year-old, he just turned 6 in April. He loves it till about 8:30. And then if it ain't popping, he's trying to go to the camp, eat a snack, use the bathroom. And then when we get there, he's like, "Can we just stay here?" Because if we hunt at the camp with my 5-year-old. We got a blind on the lake, and it's a 5-minute boat ride we got a boat ramp, and we just run to the ramp, go to the camp, and you know, repeat, right? But that's what it is. They love it, and I hope they stay loving it. I'll never make them go. I'll only ask them to go, and until they say no, you know.
Yeah. It kind of funny story for me. Yep. I took my son when he was 3, and similarly, he ended up with some tears.
Yeah.
But it was maybe for a little bit different reason. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with getting my kids positively introduced to hunting.
Yes.
So I remember setting a ground blind out in the yard.
Yeah.
And it had this little pop shotgun
Yeah.
to make noise. And we'd set out decoys, and we'd go through all this stuff, and he just thought it was amazing. But I took him on his first hunt. I threw out the first decoy into the water, and he started bawling. He thought that I was throwing away his decoys and that they were never going to come back. And
Well, hey, that's a pretty good reason, though, dude.
yeah, it was just almost inconsolable.
Really?
Yeah.
And he just thought, "There's no way we're getting that back."
Nope. And then, I had to go out there and get it and talk to him about it. But
Was he good after that, though?
he was good after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now he knows the deal.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
18.
Ooh, man, goes fast.
18 and 15.
Gracious,
My
dude.
daughter, son and daughter, she loves to hunt. He loves to
Gracious.
hunt. But, yeah, I'm going to lose him to college this fall.
Where's he going?
Minot State.
Minot.
Yep.
Oh, dead center.
Play some baseball. And
Yeah,
some
Minot's a cool
studies.
place. I've been there a few times.
yeah, now my number one tip for moms and dads taking their young kids out hunting
Yes,
is bring a ton of food.
dude. So Yeti Flip 12, 18, those square ones. No ice. There's fruit snacks. There's snack cakes. There's chips. There's powdered donuts. Whatever. It's full to the point of opening. It's embarrassingly full, and
Really?
you can't fit anything else in it. And then when I get done, I open it up. I forget about it after a hunt or something. A couple weeks go by, and I open it up, and I'm like, "What is that smell, dude?" And it's like old wrappers that have been opened. I'm like, "Oh no, I left this in here," but it's full. Full.
Just for the kids?
Oh no, absolutely not.
For you too?
I eat more fruit snacks than they do. Yeah.
So what's your dad taking your kids hunting pro tip?
I would say that's got to be it, dude. I mean, because if you've got food for them, they're fine. Drinks obviously, but like I think there's a world where electronics are allowed in some situations, but only very few. Like it depends on if it's an all-day deal, because sometimes when we hunt the lake, it is an all-day deal, and I don't want them to hate it. So if it's slow, you can have a 2-hour lull at the lake and just nothing's going on, and we'll sit through it.
Yeah.
Now my 8-year-old, he's straight head up looking in the sky the whole time, like spotting birds on the tree line. And when I say tree line, I mean way out there. And then my 6-year-old, not so much. He's like, Dad, so if I can give him a little bit of electronic hang out, and when the birds start flying, they'll throw them on the floor. And that's the thing. If they leaned on them hard the whole time, used them as a crutch for the whole thing, we wouldn't bring them.
Right.
But when the birds start flying, you've got to make sure they don't throw them in the water, because they chunk them on the floor. And that's going to be it, dude. I just, at the end of the day, whatever it is, you just got to make it fun for them. Let me back up. I'm going to be weird again. Biggest dad tip for hunting: if they don't want to go, don't make them.
That's a good one.
Don't make them, because they will hate it sooner or later, and they will never go, or it'll be a long time. But don't make them.
Yeah, I do think when we talk about, at Delta, we talk a lot about the decline in hunter numbers, hunter license sales, and the big things that come up of why. You talk about technology, sports, people moving from the country to the city, but there is this tendency to demonize technology.
Yep.
And I work with our hunter recruitment programs, and I tell people, I say, embrace technology.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing you said there. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that an adult can make when introducing their kids to hunting is to, okay, you and I, we have this expectation and view on hunting, and we expect our kids to have the exact same perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when I take my kids deer hunting when they were real little, I would let them use their phone.
Yeah.
For the first hour
Yep.
or two, where I was pretty darn sure we were never going to see a deer.
Right. You got to wait.
And then it's like, okay, last half hour, 45 minutes, put it away.
Pay attention.
But those electronics are a great way to get those kids through the quiet times.
Yep.
And what I found, and just, from one dad to another, what I found is probably around the age 12, maybe, 11, 12, 13, then their desire became pretty similar to mine.
Yeah.
And then the electronics were more just maybe checking on what their
And they don't
buddies
care,
sent 'em.
dude.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, a lot of places we hunt, there's zero cell service, and we don't carry Starlink around. So there's no Wi-Fi either.
Yeah.
And when we go places like that, which is usually in a boat, we're waiting, we're in flooded woods or something. We're not in a blind.
Right.
Dude, they don't care about it. If you take them a place where it's not an option, like in the woods, like with a buddy, have a friend, go with friends, he never even care about it. And for me, it's kind of eye-opening. It's like, it's going to be slow in certain things of the blind, so you bring it. You don't know what's going to happen when you go off in the woods or, where you hunt public, and you don't bring it because you can't, and they don't care. So it's also like, and I hate to backtrack, but it's like, would they care if it wasn't there? I don't know. If you didn't bring it to the blind, or would they want to go home because they know the home was 5 minutes away?
My first cell phone, I was 22.
Ooh. What year was that?
I'm not. But what that means is I didn't die before I had one, right?
Touché.
So I don't think our kids are going to die either.
No, I was 16, and it was a track phone.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Had 60 minutes on that dude when I got it. My mom bought it for me. It was 150 minutes. And I got it, and I was like, I'm never running out of time. Because it was a third of a cent to send a text message. And back then, phone calls over 3 minutes, no. Not happening.
Yeah.
If you couldn't get that dude done in 90 seconds, you're not using my phone.
1996.
Ooh. Yeah.
That was my first phone.
Bud. Really? What was it? I'm messing with you, dude.
Yeah, that is it.
I'm messing with you.
I liked you right up until this
I'm
moment.
sorry. I didn't see.
No, that's good. No, that's absolutely good. So let's just put the spotlight on you a little bit as we kind of wrap up the podcast.
Cool.
what's the next few years on your horizon look like? Anything cool coming that you want to talk about?
I stay open-minded, dude. Migra is on a trajectory I think that is unique. I think there's a lot of cool things happening there. Growing, we're launching the 24/7 shell today. Everybody knows who they are, so that's going to be a cool thing. Man, I really don't have that answer. I think I'm just going to let it ride.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about, give the new listener a little overview of Migra.
Migra, man, 2019, 28, I think it was 2019 they were founded by Drew. They're at Charleston, South Carolina. We're a stacked load. Man, and the reality is we did something cool. Not, excuse me, not that it had never been done. I think we just did something cool that was done right. One of the first times, and it's been proven over and over and over. And we're a young company, as an age of the company, and just employees. Like, I'm 39, and our marketing manager, she's early 30s, and the other two guys in the office are early 20s. Our founder is like 36, 37. Our CEO's in his 50s. Our OVP guy, Q-Tip, he's 43, 44. Very young company. A lot of energy that we're bringing to the table. We think differently. We move differently. Mark, our CEO, always says we're a small ship with a big rudder, and I think that's probably the best way to look at it. And dude, we just when we feel like we need to move, we move, and when we feel like we need to pivot, we pivot. And I think that's what makes us different. Progress always, and we're always trying to push that envelope. Whether it's culture, whether it's ammo, we're trying to push that envelope. We want that progress. But at the end of the day, like I told you, I'm in love with the nostalgia and the legacy and everything that goes along with the old duck hunting, right? Yeah. But we want to stay rooted in that. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that that's always part of the goal, because if it's not, then you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
It is.
I suspect a few people listening to this podcast are going to want to learn a little bit more about you. How do they track you down?
Oh,
Social
man.
media?
At Wade Shoemaker, everything.
Really?
Wade Shoemaker Instagram, Wade Shoemaker Facebook, Wade Shoemaker Threads. I don't really do Twitter, or X, I guess is what it's called now. I quit doing that back when it was not cool the first time. And I just stayed where I'm at, Instagram, Threads. And I have a TikTok I don't get on. It's like Wade Shoemaker 5 or something. I don't know, but I don't get on there a whole lot.
When you do you like do dances and stuff?
I try. I do. I lip sync.
You do that?
I lip sync.
That's your thing?
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, that's good. Hey, in closing, what does duck hunting mean to you? I'm going to challenge you to put the thing that can't be described into words.
Duck hunting to me means adding depth to. I had it.
How about this? You can never duck hunt again.
Yeah. No, I've processed that before. I think duck hunting to me is adding depth to lives I'll never know, and I mean that by what I can do through the people I meet here, the people I connect with, and my kids. I hope that they love it the way I love it. I hope they love it more. I've always said that my ceiling is their floor, and I want that to be the thing going forward for them. I want their ceiling to be their kids' floors. I want my ceiling to be these people's floor. Like, what I've experienced, what I've learned, I want to leave that and start them somewhere different. I didn't start till I was 19. So everything I've learned here, my family didn't duck hunt, so 39, so 20 years of duck hunting. The knowledge I have from duck hunting is what I've learned on my own and the pals around me, gleaning and listening and reading. It wasn't taught firsthand, not by my dad or my grandpa. And I had to create my own floor. And I don't want everybody else that I touch or connect with to have to do that. I want to be their floor, and I want it to be a cool thing, and I want to leave it better than I found it.
Well, I'm going to check you out on social media and want to follow that journey.
Dude, thank you.
Right on. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Joel.
And joining us here. Let's call this chapter 1. Let's keep the conversation going.
I like that. Let's do it again.
Right on. All right.
Thank you.